Yes, hello, I'd like to book a flight on your special shuttle to the 1984 universe, please. What? You've never heard of it? Go away. Is this thing on? Welcome back to Big Mouth and fancy seeing you here in June. I'm very welcome, my friends, and especially my enemies. Come in, sit down, and more on that 1984 theory from the Wonder Woman sequel a little bit later on. Also, I'll be reading you, apparently Omega Underground have found a leak from the audition script for the Suicide Squad 2. And I'm going to read you out the dialogue a bit later on as well. But first, we're going to talk about Louis Centeno. Now, Louis Centeno is a big dceu fan, and he's gained a lot of followers because he's been making a lot of scooping type predictions. So earlier this year, or last year, whenever he did it, he was predicting this year's San Diego Comic-Con would see an announcement for the Snyder Cut and Man of Steel 2. So yesterday I noticed that he did a bit of a thread on Twitter. He didn't have sex with someone called Fred. A thread is something when you write lots and lots of stuff on Twitter anyway. So this is him. Update on San Diego Comic-Con 2019. Everyone that knows me or has followed me knows how much I invested on San Diego Comic-Con 2019. Not because I wanted to hear it was being announced. It's because my source has been adamant on it. My source is a WB employee. Yes, of course he is, or she. Not AT&T employee. Zod Writer's source is on point. 1 out of 6. Here's the issue. Walter Hamada had planned to have Snyder Cut Zack Snyder make the announcement at San Diego Comic-Con 2019. The issue is Toby Emmerich, of course it is. But more importantly, AT&T, WD and Walter Hamada didn't anticipate AT&T getting involved. Doesn't even make sense. Anyway, getting involved. AT&T doesn't take the movement seriously. Now, this is funny the other day because remember when I read you that article the other day when John Aaron Garza was saying how they're telling employees at AT&T, just to tell us what we want to hear and stuff like that. And he was actually arguing with everyone saying they would never do that. Now he's spun all of that article on its head. It's obviously got in his head. So that's why he's probably come out with all this. The guy's a liar. I'm sorry. I had heard about this about a month ago and was hoping things would get better. Unfortunately, it doesn't look good. For those that are going to question me, no, we wouldn't want to do that now, would we? That I'm only saying this now. Don't know I share my concern to a few people a couple of weeks ago. They have proof. Mostly, everything that Zod's writer source told him is true and accurate. It was always planned by Walter Hamada to make an announcement on San Diego Comic-Con 2019. Walter Hamada is not our enemy. Well, I'm glad to hear he's never done anything to us. However, AT&T, and to a lesser degree Toby Emmerich, is a hurdle we must climb and beat. WB has heard us. It's now time that AT&T hear us. They don't take us seriously. Henry Cavill announcement doesn't look good either. Of course you're going to lump the Henry Cavill announcement with the Snyder Cut. Why would you do that? One thing doesn't have anything to do with the other. Because his announcement was tied to the Snyder Cut. No, it wasn't. Henry has nothing to do with the Snyder Cut. Yes, he's in that film, of course, yes. But that has nothing to do with a Superman movie being announced. AT&T has thrown a monkey wrench in all of this. We must rise, untie, and get stronger. I'm hearing there will be no Snyder Cut and Henry announcement at San Diego 2019 due to AT&T involvement. I'm asking someone to coordinate a phone video letter campaign to AT&T. WB heard us. It's now time that AT&T hears from all of us, where we will not rest until WB and AT&T release the Snyder Cut. Listen, this is a guy who obviously is clever enough to realise the Snyder Cut has a following, and he's trying to become a superstar from it. Look, right. First of all, right, AT&T have nothing to do with the decision making over at Warner Brothers Studios or Warner Brothers Television or anything. Let me assure you of that. AT&T are a massive company, a media company, right? A telecommunications company that own Warner Brothers. But that's it. They own it. They own it. Yes, they have executives who talk to Warner Brothers executives all the time, but they don't say you've got to make this film. Oh, I want you to cut that line out of a film. They don't get involved with the workings. And I'm sorry to tell you this, the Snyder Cut isn't even on ANTT's radar. They don't care about it. It's not in their remit. Warner Brothers is run how Warner Brothers has always been run, by people who are running it. And AT&T just take the profits. They don't care. As I say, yes, they have their people talk to Warner Brothers people, but that's it. They don't interfere in the running of Warner Brothers. So this is this is irrelevant and this is stupid. And if you really think, I mean, maybe AT&T, to a point, if they were compelled to, could say, we want you to release the Snyder Cut. Yes, so you could look at it that way. But to think that AT&T or Toby Emmerich, who has nothing to do with AT&T, he's Warner Brothers as well. Basically, right, these people are moving forward with the DCEU, the new DCEU, the future of the DCEU. That's their remit. That's their focus, because they need to make this a profitable film franchise, and that's what they're looking to do. And it's going to be baby steps, and it's going to take a long time. I honestly believe the last thing on their mind, any of these people's minds, is the Snyder Cut. I want the Snyder Cut. I think the Snyder Cut is important for so many reasons, and I want to see it. But there has to be an element of realism here. We can't live in a bloody fantasy world. Let's keep on fighting. Let's do the right things without being abusive, without lying to each other and making up bullshit because we made a twat of ourselves because an intelligent guy did a really good article in John Aaron Garza, right? An article that actually made sense and was trying to inspire us to, make the movement bigger. And this guy, Centeno, was abusing him and abusing everyone who agreed with him. This guy is a bullshitter, right? Now, he may be a DCEU fan, but mainly to me, he's an opportunist and he's someone not to be trusted. And that is my final word on that. Omega Underground have got this so-called exclusive article, which is called The Suicide Squad Audition Sample Scene Possibly Reveals First Plot Details. Now, I'm going to read this out to you, but don't forget, this could be absolute bullshit. But I'm reading it out to you. I mean, I don't know much about Omega Underground. I mean, they're not Hollywood Reporter or The Wrap or anything. I think they're a very young kind of site. And hey, look, it's an interesting article. I'll give them that. But let's have a look. Exclusive. The GWW has obtained a sample scene from the Suicide Squad that is being sent out to agencies for actors to use in auditions. Normally, studios will send out sample scenes that have nothing to do with the film, but that doesn't seem to be the case here. First of all, this is funny. I think this is funny. Normally, and this is true, right? I know this for a fact, that normally the lines are nothing to do with the film, but this article just said this doesn't seem to be the case. Well, how do you know? How do you know? You haven't read the original script. James Gunn hasn't told you what he's put in the fucking script. So how would you know if it's related or unrelated? Just makes me laugh. Anyway, here, listen carefully. This is the dialogue. Unknown. Prison. Hey. Oh, no, hang on. Unknown. Hey, is that the prison? The general. The Nazis came here after World War II, seeking asylum. They built the prison as a way to continue their unorthodox experiments. That was until the Loretta family accepted a bounty on the Nazis' heads and killed them all. Unknown. Wowzer. Great dialogue. The general. The prison endured as a haven for these nefarious experiments outside the grasp of the international laws. Many, many years ago, rumors began of a beast living within its bowels. These dark rumors helped the Loretta family maintain power. They would send their political enemies and their families to the fortress, never to return. I've recently learned that these rumors are not rumors. They are murdered thousands of people in bizarre experiments with this creature. Holy cow! I mean, that must be a big relief to get your hands on it now, huh? The general. Absolutely. Now it is our enemies who shall be fearful. And anyone who has anything negative to say about their new general. Actually, that sounds like a verified account on Twitter, doesn't it? Their parents, their children, and anyone they ever loved can be sent to that prison to feed the beast. So what do you make of that? What do you make of that? Not my horrible American accent and my horrible posh British accent before, but what do you make of all that? Does that sound... Sorry, this seems bullshit. This actually sounds... I mean, it could be true. Some of the Nazi chap sounds typical because Hollywood will take any opportunity to remind us of the Nazis, won't they? But it seems all right. Listen, right. There could be elements, there could be a beast that they have to go after and have to kill. I don't know if that's why all these members of the Suicide Squad have been recruited, and that's really what their kind of mission is. There could be this is what I think. There's an element of truth in this, but I wouldn't take every single syllable or word to task here. So yes, it's obviously believable that this could have leaked out, or Warner Brothers and James Gunn have leaked it out on purpose, because it doesn't really give too much away. There's a beast that has to be killed, big deal. Obviously, there's going to be more to the film than that. So it's just to get people hyped up. And I think any true leaks that ever happen with films are leaked on purpose for marketing, hype, and just to get people excited. So there's that. So very, very interesting. And as you already know, I am very excited about the Suicide Squad movie. I trust James Gunn. He's got a great imagination, a great passion for these stories. And I can't wait to see, at least a trailer to see, what kind of film he's going for here. Yesterday, I was pleasantly surprised to see Patty Jenkins in a video saying that she's already screened Wonder Woman 1984, a version of Wonder Woman 1984. She's already had her first screening. Now, who does she screen it to? I think it's obviously to Warner Brothers executives. That would be Walter Hamada, and all the people there who are running the DCEU and people running Warner Brothers in general. So that's very, very, very interesting. And normally we do get some feedback what these execs thought of the film. But this is, this is a version of the film. This is not a final version by any means, but it's a version. And obviously you screen it to your bosses for them to get feedback. Are they happy with this? Do they want this released to the public? Now, this is interesting. Nothing is done from Hollywood, given to us, the public, from Hollywood, for no reason. There's a reason for this. There's a reason. Now, here's her in a very short interview, and this is what Patty Jenkins had to say.
Remember when you're working on the sequel right now?
Yep.
Can you tell us anything about that?
I can't wait. I can't believe it's so funny. For all the entire time that we were making the movie, I was lobbying because they were wanting to move it up much earlier, and I was like, "You guys, summer got to be the summer of 2020. Like, it's got to be." And that was what I always wanted. And now, like, I've just screened a version of the film, and now I'm like, "Oh my God, can we move it back up again?" I'm like dying to release this film. But of course, it's good and it's fine, but it's frustrating to have to wait.
Yes, it is a bit frustrating, especially for the fans, Patty. But anyway, listen. Look, she lobbied for it to be delayed, according to her. Now, I think this is an interview about some kind of TV show she did with Chris Pine or something, and I think they just added that question in. But that's very exciting. That's very interesting. But as I said to you just a minute ago, nothing is done in Hollywood for no reason. I think they want us to think that Patty Jenkins lobbied for it to be delayed. I don't think that's the truth, by the way, because this is the thing now. They know, the public know, that they've pretty much completed the film. So we're thinking what they're thinking. It's all in our minds. Why was it put back if it's already pretty much finished? And basically, you're talking about VFX now, which doesn't take long, to be honest with you. VFX, music, and on all of that. So basically, let's cut a long story short here. This film could have been ready for Christmas. This film could have been ready for Christmas. Would have been interesting, wouldn't it? Wonder Woman versus The Rise of Skywalker. Not going to happen now. So this film could have been ready for this year. That's obvious. So I don't believe Patty Jenkins kind of lobbied for this film to be put back. I don't believe that. Now, I do have, I have a lot of theories about Wonder Woman 1984. But this is my latest theory. What if the universe this film's set in, the multiverse, right? But in the universe of this multiverse, what if this multiverse is called 1984? And what if it's always 1984 in this universe? Is that a stupid theory? Does it make sense to you? I want you to let me know what you think. And I want to hear everything about what I've done today here on Sunday's edition of the DCEU Daily. What do you think of Louis Centeno? Do you trust him? Do you think he's a hack? Do you think he's taking advantage of Snyder fans and DCEU fans? Because I certainly do. What do you think about the leaked Suicide Squad audition script? Are you excited? Does it give you any hints? Obviously, it does give a few hints on there, but nothing to give away too much. And what about Patty Jenkins talking about Wonder Woman 1984, saying she's already screened the movie? How exciting is that? What do you think of that? Do you think this film should have been released this year? And what do you think of my Wonder Woman 1984 theory universe idea? Hey, I want your input. I want you to tell me what you think. So please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time in the next video.